Idol anime usually follow a pretty consistent pattern. Some upcoming idol group full of girls, each with their own problems, slowly resolve their issues and learn to work together throughout the episodes. Whether that comes through as the usual genuine, heartfelt talks between the girls or literally one-on-one sword fights, it's nearly the same thing every single time a new idol show airs. Which is why Ya Boy Kongming caught me so completely and utterly off guard. While on the surface appearing to be just another gimmicky idol show along the lines of something like Revue Starlight, which is fascinating in its own right, don't get me wrong, Ya Boy Kongming is a show about Eiko, a solo idol who sings at a bar in hopes of gathering some form of popularity, and her mentor, the famous Chinese tactician Sun Tzu. Kongming. I said Kongming. Not the Art of War guy, the other guy. Like any idol show, Ya Boy Kongming focuses way harder on the characters rather than the story. But usually you'd see some lighthearted interactions between characters, some sort of big twist or betrayal in the middle, and then they all make up and fix everything just in time to be fashionably late to the final performance, and then get all emotional afterwards, with a few bits of past trauma, jealousy, Yuri romance, and singing sprinkled throughout. Yeah, that's where the show gets different. Eiko's talent and Kongming's brilliance are shown to mesh perfectly as they go through each performance, with Kongming using historically significant techniques that he was known for to push Eiko forward, but never overshadowing her in any way, as each and every single one of his plans is centered around his absolute faith in Eiko's singing. The smoke trick that he did to get people to Eiko's floor? That would have completely failed after a few minutes once someone found an actual exit, but he knew people would stay as soon as they heard Eiko sing. Pretending their electronics were out of whack and then lighting up a tree in the middle of Jet Jacket's performance? All that does is grab attention, but combining that with the fact that Jet Jacket wasn't planning on pulling their best song out that day, and he's pretty much got the entire crowd by the end of the event. And at the end of the 100k likes contest, he makes Eiko and Kabe pretend to be Azalea to gain likes, but actually to reach 100k they had to make a bigger impression than Azalea would. All the while when Azalea was performing right across from them. Every single one of Kongming's plans relied on a single constant, Eiko. He never tries to take the spotlight and boost Eiko up through strategy alone, and instead truly believes that her singing would make the difference. And let's not forget how Kongming is basically the definition of work smarter, not harder, because he makes seemingly completely nonsensical choices that end up helping them greatly. Like, who else on earth would come to the conclusion, okay, we need a rapper, when it comes to helping a solo idol get 100k likes in a contest? And turns out he was completely right, because Kabe was the entire turning point against Azalea, whose fans wouldn't even have given Eiko the time of day without his shit talking. Pair all that tactical experience and brainpower with him being completely unafraid to play dirty, and you end up with the stunning strategies shown where it just seems like a cheap trick or even a scam at the start, but ends up being something that completely turns the tides with the perfectly calculated turn of a dial. And to go even further, even though Kongming plays dirtier than an unclean pigsty, he makes sure that every party walks away with a positive. Okay, maybe not that first lady, but let's be honest, she totally deserved it. With Jet Jacket, even with them hating his guts for stealing the spotlight, he offers the lead singer a throat medicine that would help them greatly in the future. With Kabe, he not only earns Kabe's trust with a rap battle that he roped him into, but also boosts his confidence with a stomach medicine that he snuck into Kabe's food. And how can we forget about the finale with Azalea, where he decides not to pull out some surefire strategy and actually allows Eiko to save her friend Nanami with her song, and even later shows the producer how it could be worth letting the girls pursue their dreams by giving him a pep talk while the dude was still in the process of seething at his loss. He didn't even need to do any of it, but he does it anyway because he's not there to use people as stepping stones for Eiko. He's there to support her endeavors and show people that her singing can change the world. And with the I should just quit arc having ended in the first episode, they take away a certain level of naivety from the main character Eiko. Unlike other idol anime where the characters would go through that arc before a big performance or after a comment made from one of their fellow idols that sparks some sort of immense imposter syndrome, Eiko already felt that way from the start. And that's why she also has complete faith in Kongming, who brought her out of it as her first and most loyal fan. But just because Kongming was keeping himself busy with praising Eiko's work and helping her achieve her dreams, he definitely didn't let go of the past just because he was in a new time. He still religiously wore his ancient Chinese robes, despite those probably being his only clothes and needing to wash them all the time. He has flashbacks to the past and constantly reminisces about the days when he's been with his friends and comrades that he no longer has any hopes of going back to. He's a way more tragic character than he lets on, being saddled with the burden of being the only person from his original time, and his only reprieve from it is Eiko, whose singing reminds him of his prior lord, Liu Bei. In fact, the parallels between Liu Bei and Eiko were something that brought about Kongming's enthusiasm throughout the entire show. The figure of Liu Bei appearing at the end of the final episode as Eiko invited Kongming back into the party was an absolutely beautiful scene, giving him that final closure, an affirmation that this was indeed where he belonged, and he had made friends who valued him just as much as he valued those friends back in the day. Kongming's journey through modern day may have seemed like a lighthearted twist on the idol genre, with him being basically a cheat code to Eiko's growth, but he himself had grown to accept his new reality as the show went on. He'd been saved by Eiko just as much as he saved her, and that's one hell of an ending to some seasonal idol show.